Hello everyone, this is HUSCast here, back to some more Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action. This time we're going to be picking up right where we left off in the Acer Team Cup. This is the game to decide who is going to advance to the finals. Well, it's the series to decide who goes to the finals. But right now, Impact currently up 3-0 for his team. If he wins this one, he is one game away from all-killing Team Liquid in the semifinals. Quarterfinals, semifinals, I always get that word mixed up. Either way, right now, up at the top left side, it is going to be one of Liquid's last hopes in Liquid TLO, and down in the bottom right side, it is going to be Axiom's Impact. So it is going to be yet another ZvZ versus ZvZ here for Impact, and I was kind of giving it a little bit of thought here on this matchup. It's interesting because ZvZ is such a volatile matchup. I say that all the time. I still stand by it. I still believe it. There's so much micro and decision making that is needed to be made on the fly that it's actually, I think, the most stressful matchup in the game, which makes me wonder if we were to look at, I don't know if this is a statistic that is out there, but if we were to look at foreign players going against Korean ZvZs, is ZvZ versus ZvZ the most difficult matchup and the most least won matchup in major tournaments? Is ZvZ the least won matchup for foreigners? I'm wondering if it is, because I feel like there are ways that you can utilize the strengths of your race, say your Protoss or Terran. There's ways that you can utilize the strengths of that race against a ZvZ Korean opponent if they are considered better than you. But when it's a ZvZ, it is like a super mirror matchup mode here, and one misclick can cost you the game, which I feel like, you know, in PvP, you can have a little bit more leniency with your misclicks. If there's something that you're messing up on, then you can kind of get away with it a little bit more just because your units survive for longer. But in ZvZ, man, everything erupts in a green goo fiery death. So I'm wondering, I don't know if that statistic is out there, but if anyone can find that, like win rate, maybe over the last 1,000 games or something, I don't know. That would be a pretty interesting statistic. Going up against Korean ZvZ, a non-Korean players, I wonder which matchup has the hardest time for foreigners. I don't know. I love statistics, guys. And no, I'm not talking about the actual difficult math that you should learn in college, and it's very good for you. I'm just talking about numbers, just stats. Just stats. I'm a big fan of that, but right now I'm also a big fan of what we're seeing here, which is actually a pretty heavy macro game unfolding before us. You can see Impact already going to be going for lots of drones here. His hatchery is much earlier here than TLO, so we'll see if that actually ends up hurting TLO or not, but he is going to be able to get out a couple of lings here just fine. Also going to be having his queens on the way, which a lot of times you will see TLO go for. I feel like TLO is just feels like he's behind in most ways. He is going to be going for the Zergling speed here, though, which is going to be, of course, the focus of his build, is to get out that Zergling speed as early as possible, start to get that early map control. But Impact, we've seen him already have a vast amount of success going for this macro style. I mean, look at this. He's already up 2 workers right here. He's going to have the queens out much quicker, and he can also just have more money, and the longer this game goes on, then that's going to be, of course, great for him, and he can throw down the double extractor at any time. That's actually the way that I prefer to play ZvZ, but I'm like really bad at ZvZ. Is just trying to get as many drones and minerals as possible, and then eventually breaking off to kind of burst into your gas, which right now it does look like TLO actually might just try and end this game right here. So maybe I spoke too soon. Axiom Impact's not going to have a whole lot of defense back here at home, and the Overlord right there is retreating, and the Queens right there are going to try and chase it. Oh my god, this Overlord is trying to get a mad dash out of here. But also keep in mind, this Overlord is going to be kind of baiting these queens out. I don't know if he's intentionally doing that or not, but for TLO it is going to work out, as he does have his own lings going to be on the way, especially with Zergling speed about completed here. We'll see if TLO can actually get down here and surround these 2 queens. No, the queens catch wind of what's going on. The Overlord's right there phoning it into their friends and saying, hey, queens, you probably want to get back home. They almost do get intercepted, but there are 3 queens out now for Impact, and he does have a spine crawler. The drone's evacuating. Oh, no, they're not evacuating. They're joining the fight, man, as they're going to be pulled off the line here trying to make this happen. There are now 4 queens showing up just at the right time. The drones are on hold position, so they are not getting taken out as quickly as TLO would like. He's trying to focus them down, but guess what? With the reinforcements here, he is only going to kill, well, I guess 10 workers is pretty good, but he does have to be careful right now because TLO is going to be behind in workers if he doesn't continue to make workers of his own. So right now, TLO is actually in a pretty good spot. He just needs to make sure not to have a huge blunder right here. But there are 11 drones on the way for Impact. Like I was saying, if TLO's not careful, he's going to be behind in workers very, very quickly, because as Impact has already shown, he is going for lots and lots of drones here. It's actually tied basically 33 to 35 at this point. TLO though does have a lair on the way. I'm not really sure if that's the right move here. We'll see exactly what that lair kind of turns into. Maybe going for early Mutalisks just because he knows his opponent does not have that much gas. These Lings are being very annoying and able to scout around, although there is gas now being taken here at the natural. So we'll see if that pans out or not. More Lings are on the way. But I will say, I feel like Impact, he played greedy in the early parts of the game, but he did not really pay for it. I mean, he ended up getting knocked down a peg or two, but that was just preventing him from getting way out in the lead as he now is tied in workers. He is going to be able to start getting that gas right now. If we take a look at the gas income here, Impact is actually ahead in the gas income, so any extra gas that TLO had here, he's now going to be falling behind in, and this just shows you the different level of play out of Impact. I mean, he is just able to keep toe-to-toe, even though he should actually be behind right now. It feels like a Link right there. Going to get great surface area over here, though, as that Queen was not in the perfect spot right there. TLO making a big mistake there, letting those Lings get way too much surface area, and they will eventually get cleaned up. I don't think these Lings are going to do too much direct damage, but they were able to even up those resources lost and also able to scout the main base. I mean, he scouted that main base with a Zergling that did not have speed. We also saw the Spire on the way, so Impact is saying, you know what, Husky? I'm not actually talking to you right now because I'm playing StarCraft 2, but if I was, what I would be saying is that I'm feeling pretty good about this game. He does have the 61 supply, so technically a supply lead. We do have a Nidus Worm on the way, which for TLO, I'm not sure if he's going to allow this. Oh, I think he did cancel that, didn't he? I believe that he did. TLO trying to be a little bit sneaky with the stuff there. Does cancel the Spire and is instead going to be going for a Nidus Worm. I was wondering, why are you going for a Nidus Worm if you're getting a Mutalisk Spire? Oh my god, we have double Nidus Worms right now. Double Nidus networks over here. This is actually an awesome game. This is why I love TLO, is he's very inventive, very fun, trying to make it work. But guess what? Impact's saying, Husky, again, I'm not actually talking to you, but if I was, I'm inventive as well, as he does have his own Nidus Worm on the way. This is actually going to be an intense match right here. We do have the Overseer throwing himself out there just to try and get that Nidus Worm. This is actually a really good spot for a Nidus Worm. And that's exactly where it's going to be, as those dudes are going to be streaming inside the main base. But guess what? There's going to be a return Nidus Worm in the exact same spot, only this one is, of course, in TLO's base. So whose Nidus Worm is going to be more terrifying? It looks like the answer is going to be TLO, and Impact may be really confused here because he's hearing a Nidus Worm just moments before his spawns. TLO actually spots it, though. He actually sees it with his own Lings. They see the Nidus network, and then they're like, uh-oh, there's something going on over here. And it does look like neither of these Nidus networks are going to be doing that much damage. Sure, Roachhorn goes down, but can TLO actually escape right now? He's got to try and run into that Nidus network, and he does escape with almost every single unit there, so not too bad for him right there, and is also going to be able to kill the Nidus network of his opponent. I don't think anything's going to be unloading out of here, so really not a whole lot of damage dealt either way, but a very awkward position for both of these players to be in here, as they both just tried a Nidus network. Now, you have to remember that just because you cut the head off of the snake does not mean that this Nidus network is going to give up. You can also throw those down throughout the entire duration of the game. The last two roaches going to go ahead and unload right there. There was a changeling scouting that out, but now we are going to transition into 3 bases here for both these players. If we do take a look at the supplies, though, what are you guys noticing? Only 92 for TLO. Now, the thing is that he could catch up in supply if he just spent that money. There he goes right there, building a couple more roaches to go ahead and do just that. But if he was to spend the rest on roaches, he would be right caught back up. So not quite sure what his plan is for that money. He has to be careful, though. Those roaches so fast on creep can easily chase him down. And at this point, TLO does have no upgrades, but he is working on 2-2. At the same time, though, Impact is going to be at about 2-0. So there will be a slight upgrade advantage here for TLO for just a little bit. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to utilize that or not. But we'll see here as TLO does get his base up and running. Actually, these bases are basically identically timed right here. 70, like when this one's at 80, the other one's at about 85 there. So very, very close. We do have yet another Nidus Worm on the way. And where is this guy at? I'm sure he's somewhere in the middle of the map. There he is. He's going to go ahead and summon that Nidus Worm kind of close to where TLO is. And like I was saying, you can't count out Nidus Worms just because you killed the first one in your main base. It's really going to be who is the aggressor with this Nidus Worm, who can actually reinforce the quickest, and that is going to be Impact here. He is continuing forward with this Nidus Worm play. There's already a Nidus Worm right here, so he can be running this Nidus network all over the place. It's kind of old school Brood War style with the Naya Swarms here, but it does look like right now TLO may just sacrifice his base over here. He does have the 1-1 upgrade, which is an upgrade advantage, but does he have enough stuff over here? I feel like with no Zerglings in there to absorb a lot of those roach shots, that he's not able to get that surface area that he really needs to. And continuing forward, he does have the upgrade advantage, but does +1 armor actually make that big of a difference in a roach battle? I feel like the answer is no. The Queen's over here working on the Overlords, but somehow Impact just has way more. Is Impact actually going to take this 4-0? And that means that there's only one more game, the ace match, and that would have to be a reverse all-kill here in order for Team Liquid to be able to advance to the finals of the Acer Team Cup. And right now, it just looks like Impact is out for blood. He may be overextending a little bit with the Hydras on the high ground, but they do not matter as there was nothing left for TLO. Axiom Impact defeating basically all of the best players on Team Liquid. And that means that Team Liquid can only resurrect one of their players. Who is it going to be in the next game? Well, we are about to find out. Tasia is probably their best bet as he has carried their team to victory in similarly bad situations before. But we'll find out in the ace match. Does Team Axiom face Team Acer in the finals? And what's amazing is Axiom Acer used to be its own team as they did team up there for a while for a couple of team leagues. Pretty awesome stuff there. But either way, it is time for possibly the last game, and I guess it's not technically the ace match, because ace match would be like the last game, but either way, match point, as it is called, as Impact may actually be able to all-kill Team Liquid in the round before the finals, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, so hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.